Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Today's topic is going to be when you are in it, you can't see it. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. So this goes for anything, but specifically with the narcissistic abusive cycle, which means when you are in it, you can't see it. So example, let's say that you are talking to a friend and your friend is asking you for counsel or for advice or suggestions. They are asking you your opinion because they are in it and they can't see what's going on. That's why you bounce things off of other individuals. That's why people get perspective from other individuals. So now taking that and fast forward it to the narcissistic abusive cycle, if you were in the narcissistic abusive cycle, or perhaps you were still in it, many times you can't see what's going on until you exit it, or until you get the wisdom and the education on channels like mine and many others. And again, thank you very much for being here. But really understand, when you're in it, you can't see it. So when you're in it, it's very difficult to see it because you are in it. So that's why when you stayed in the relationship, let's say you exited the relationship and you've been out for a while, you're now getting all these light bulb moments. You're now getting all this clarity. You're now getting answers. You're now getting questions answered by you, because remember, the narcissist won't give you closure. That's not going to happen. So you had to figure a lot of things out on your own, because it's easier for you to see what happened post narcissistic relationship because no longer are you in it. And when you remove yourself from the relationship, then you can see things clearly, or clearer. And remember, each and every day that you go no contact, have the narcissist blocked, removed all flying monkeys, and deleted all people associated with the narcissist, the clearer you will see things and the less you will be in it. Now, many times on the channel, I mentioned the narcissistic fog. Remember, that's where the narcissist placed you. After the euphoric stage, what they did is they began the devaluation stage. And during that period of time, that is when you entered the narcissistic fog, which is when you actually were in a zombie-like trance. Yes, you were, whether you know it or not, because your resources are being depleted from you virtually each and every day. You were doing things that you never thought you would do. You were saying things that you never thought you would say. You were experiencing rage fits and gaslighting and the silent treatment and on from the narcissist. If all those words are foreign to you, I suggest you research these terms, understand the glossary and the definitions on the narcissistic abusive cycle, because you're going to need to know what these definitions are and how they figured into your relationship for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship with the narcissist. But when you're in it, you can't see it. That's why you need clarity. That's why you need people to bounce things off of. That's why you need YouTube channels. That's why you need to see a therapist if possible. That's why you need to become educated, to read, to share your experiences with other individuals and understand a few things. One, this was not your fault at all. You were manipulated. You were taken advantage of by the narcissist. And you may say, well, how is that possible? I'll tell you exactly how it's possible. Compare your life before you met the narcissist, and then compare your life to when you were in the narcissistic relationship, and now compare yourself post-narcissistic relationship if you have healed. You'll see 3 different versions of you, which I mentioned frequently on the channel. That is exactly how far you've come from you perhaps living in the everyday fog, to being in the narcissistic abusive cycle, to now being the 3rd version of you, which is the best version of you now. A version who is awakened and aware, and you now understand you are the priority, and you come first, second, and third. But going back in time, when you were in the relationship, you couldn't see it. Why? Because you didn't know about narcissistic abuse. You didn't think that it meant anything. You just heard the term, oh, it's a narcissist, no big deal, whatever, in passing, and you never figured it would come up into your life. And lo and behold, here you are. Now, I'm not trying to trigger you or upset you. I'm just letting you know that if you made it this far in the video, either A, you have experienced narcissistic abuse, B, you are looking to exit the relationship, or C, you're just very curious. If it's any of those 3, if it's not any of those 3, you wouldn't be on the channel. But my point being that when you're in it, you can't see it. It's the same thing. Like, let's equate the narcissistic fog with you driving a car in the mountains, and it's really foggy out. Say it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're just driving for whatever reason. Well, you can't see because you're in the fog. And no matter how high you turn the headlights on, or the high beams, you can only see a little bit further in front of you. That is exactly how it is in the narcissistic abusive cycle. When you are in the narcissistic fog, that's where the narcissist wants you. They want you not knowing what is up or down, what is in or out, what is left or right. And that's exactly what happens. So when you're in it, you can't see it. That is probably one of the best examples I could give you using that car analogy. It's true, it's real. It's exactly how the narcissist placed you. Now, once you exit the relationship, you do understand that in fact, things improve in time, in your time. You will improve, you will heal, you will get stronger, you will learn, you will grow, you will teach if you can, but you will understand that you are the priority and that in fact you need to put yourself as the priority, and that the narcissist, in fact, they never did want you to understand who they were. They didn't want you to discover who they were. There's a little kid walking by, so I have to wait a second, guys, but I'll keep talking. But the narcissist never wanted you to figure out who they were. What they wanted you to do was to stay trapped in the narcissistic fog, so you would never figure out who they were, and that in fact you were being manipulated the whole time. Sorry about that, thank you. The point being is, now that you're out of the relationship, you can understand and see exactly how far you've come. You can see exactly what you experienced. You can relate with other individuals, and you can let them know exactly that they too will be okay in time, in their time, if they put their due diligence in and if they become committed to overcoming the narcissistic relationship. That is why, let's go back in time for a moment. When you were in the relationship, remember, you were isolated. Why do you think that was? I'll tell you why. It was to keep you on that hamster wheel spinning around and around, so the narcissist could manipulate you, keep you trapped, extract your resources from you, and that so you would do nothing, so you wouldn't understand, so you wouldn't be able to see what was going on when you were still in the relationship. That's why so often when you're in the relationship, you're saying to yourself like, wow, that was very strange behavior. I just experienced a rage fit, but who do I talk to about this? If I tell my friends, they're gonna say, what are you talking about? It's like, really? What? No, that can't be that person. That person's kind and loving. Like, what are you talking about? That's how the narcissist isolates you. And they want you isolated. They want you becoming completely a shell of yourself, which essentially is what they are. But the point is, they don't want you comparing notes and sharing your experiences with other individuals. Why? Because then the truth will get out and the narcissist would get exposed. They don't want that. That is why when you're in it, you can't see it, because you're dumbfounded. You can't believe that an individual could change so quickly from the minute or when the euphoric stage / love bomb stage ended. Then all of a sudden, you're not the flavor of the month. You're just a person who's being devalued more and more, ultimately to be discarded. Keep in mind, during the devaluation stage, what was the narcissist doing? That's right, they were looking for your replacement. And believe me when I say it, they found your replacement. By now, perhaps they found multiple replacements. And again, who are these people? They are most likely people that don't even know that narcissism exists on the planet. And they are people believing they just struck gold, they just hit the jackpot, when in fact nothing could be further from the truth. The truth of the matter is they're about to be abused, only quicker, worse than you were. Believe it or not. Why I'm saying that is because as the narcissist ages, remember, there is an individual, which is every narcissist, called the aging narcissist. And these people, as they get older, they're fighting Father Time, a battle they will never win. They're also fine-tuning their skills of manipulation, devastation, and destruction, which they get very good at, unfortunately. And they need to get supply, which are unsuspecting individuals, and they cast their spell / enter the euphoric stage with these people as quickly as they possibly can, because they don't want to be discovered. And they're going to discard these people much quicker, many times too, because the clock is always ticking. And remember, what works for the aging narcissist, let's say the narcissist is in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, they can't use the same old bag of tricks they could use when they were in their 20s and 30s and 40s, can they? No, they can't. Just like you. Let's say you're in your 60s or 70s. Can you run a 24-mile marathon, 24K marathon, whatever these things are? Maybe you can, and if you can, God bless you. But my guess is it would be a little challenging. However, when you were younger, you could probably run that in your sleep if you wanted to. These are examples. Same thing with the aging narcissist. It's exactly what they do. They realize that the clock is ticking and that so many people have discovered them and realized who they are, and they want nothing to do with them any longer. So that's why they glom on to unsuspecting individuals and blow up that relationship and go on from new supply to new supply. But when you're in it, you can't see it. You can't. You really can't. And if you were one of the fortunate ones that actually discarded the narcissist or entered the relationship before you could be discarded, God bless you. Perhaps you were one of the fortunate ones that could see it. Most of us couldn't. Most of us were clinging on to that breadcrumb of hope, thinking things would get better, thinking that we could get back to the euphoric stage, when in fact, that's not the case. The case was our physical health deteriorated, Our mental capacity deteriorated. Yes, it did, because you couldn't even get any peace of mind. You were walking around in eggshells all the time. Your emotional capacity completely got crushed, because did you have anyone to talk to about the narcissistic abuse? No, you didn't. You didn't have anyone to talk to because no one understood. And the one person you thought that could help you out, who was the narcissist, they were always tuned out. They wanted to never have an intelligent conversation with you about anything of substance. Why? Because that would mean they'd actually have to listen to you for once. Did they ever do that? Absolutely not. What they did is they always put it off. Oh, you're such a baby. Move on. Get over it. No one likes you. We can talk about it some other time. I'm busy. Let me take this phone call, etc., etc. They would never really address real conversations with you, now would they? No, and they can't now either. That's why the narcissist is the narcissist. And that is why once you understand, perhaps you did get discarded, or perhaps you did end it yourself, that's when you understand, my goodness, like, I see things so much clearer now. I can't believe I tolerated that poor behavior. I can't believe I did what I did, meaning like I was just completely manipulated and used and abused and thrown away like a sheet of paper on the freeway. It's true. It's exactly what happened, most likely. But now you've learned, you've grown, you've healed, and or you are healing. Remember, everyone on the channel, we're all on the healing path, headed in the same direction, just taking different footsteps. And when you're ready, you will be healed in time, in your time. I say that frequently. But if you're considering, example, before I close the video, if you're considering like, why didn't you figure it out sooner? Like, why did you, I don't get it. It's because you didn't have the education. You just flat out weren't taught this in school. You didn't know anything about narcissism. And now my hope is you're becoming educated each and every day. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And don't fault yourself. When you're in it, you can't see it. Just like that fog example I gave you in real life. Like if you're driving up a mountain or something, that's real. That's fog. You've seen it before. It's the same thing in the narcissistic relationship with the narcissistic fog. You couldn't see it because a spell was cast on you and you were meant to be entrenched in the narcissistic fog. Guys, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Understand that. I love you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, it's going to rain here, so bye, guys. Love you. Bye.